People vs. Aldana, 175 Iskra, 135, July 27, 1989. Elements of rape by a man who shall have carnal knowledge of a woman. Number 1, the offender is a man. Number 2, the offender had carnal knowledge of the woman. Number 3, such act is accomplished under any of the following circumstances. Letter A, through force, threat, or intimidation. Letter B, when the offended party is deprived of reason or is otherwise unconscious. Letter C, by means of fraudulent machination or grave abuse of authority. Or letter D, when the offended party is under 12 years of age or is dependent, even though none of the above circumstances mentioned above be present. Facts of the case. Stephanie B. Hutchison, a 13-and-a-half-year-old high school student, and Bernard Aldana, an 18-year-old college student, were neighbors since 1982 in Talaba, Bacoor, Cavite. At about 3 o'clock in the morning, Stephanie was awakened from her sleep and felt the presence of someone inside her bedroom. She was about to scream when the accused covered her mouth with his right hand and pointed a knife at her. Despite her resistance, the accused succeeded in having sexual intercourse with her. Having accomplished what he came for, the accused stood up, put on his briefs, and left through the ungrilled window of the room, from which 3 slats of glass jalousies had been earlier removed by him to gain entry into the room. The defense sought to establish the innocence of the accused by proving that he and Stephanie were sweethearts. Accused claimed that Stephanie suggested to Bernard that since her mother infrequently went home from work, they should see each other in her room. Stephanie told him that she would remove 3 slats of the ungrilled jalousie window so that he could enter the room. The accused agreed to the plan. Thus, on 4 subsequent occasions, the accused climbed into Stephanie's room at around midnight, and the couple would spend about an hour talking and caressing each other. As Bernard once again entered her room, Stephanie warned him that her maid was sleeping in the room with her. But as he was about to leave, the maid woke up and turned on the lights of the room. The maid asked him what he was doing, and he revealed that he was there at Stephanie's invitation. The accused then hurriedly left the room. The issue now is whether or not the accused is guilty of the crime of rape. The court finds that the prosecution has failed to prove the guilt of the accused beyond reasonable doubt. According to the Supreme Court, Stephanie's conduct after the alleged rape incident does not correspond with the normal reaction of a victim of this hideous crime. On the one hand, Stephanie testified that because the accused threatened her, she did not shout or scream for help even after the accused left the room. She merely left the room and transferred to her younger brother's room and cried. But on the other hand, she admitted that on the evening following the day she was allegedly raped, she slept once again in her room alone. If indeed Stephanie were a victim of rape through force and intimidation, why would she continue to sleep alone in the very same room where she was forcibly violated? The normal reaction of a 13-year-old victim, especially one who had not confided to anyone that she was raped, would have been to avoid that room, which would remind her of the disturbing incident and trigger overwhelming fright and confusion.